So, hello, my sister, Jeanice Cummings. I am really excited to be finally talking to you because I've been following you and I've been learning quite a few things from you. And I was thinking about Valentine's Day, the day where love is given, love is expressed. And I was thinking about how some of us struggle at that time. You know, if you've been through domestic violence, it affects you in different ways. And a lot of us end up deciding, you know what, I can't take the risk again. But recently I've started thinking there's more to life than being single. And as much as it's not wrong to be single, there actually is more to life than being single. And I still think love makes a whole lot of things lighter and, easier. So I instantly thought of you. And I thought maybe if we do a video where you share some tips for us on how we can start believing in love again, or even dare to go that way. So I will let you introduce yourself, what you do, so that people that are going to watch this video and listen to your tips will know that you are also a source of help, a source of educational support and inspiration. Anyway, the floor is yours. Introduce yourself.
Thank you. I am very flattered that you asked me to participate because for a lot of us, it is very hard to get back into the game again. And I think
Yeah.
that's a very good topic because a lot of times we avoid things that are very uncomfortable for us.
Mm,
So, I will tell you a little bit about me.
yes.
I am a relationship recycle coach, and I work with women who are attempting to leave their relationship or who have left their relationship. And I call myself a recycle coach because I feel like people already have what they need inside of them. It was
Yes.
given to them by God. And I think all that we need is a little tweaking and a
Mhm.
little going into ourselves to understand our own process. And what I do, I take my clients through the process of letting go of the old version of themselves so
Yeah.
they can be created into someone new. And I work with them to cultivate healthy relationship habits and principles so they don't make the same mistake again and they make better choices in relationship. They get to create the life they choose.
Making the
And
same
some
mistake again is something that happens quite a lot. It
it
happened
does.
with me quite a few times as well.
Well, there's kind of a various reasons that it happened, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But how I really got into this is I've worked in community services for over 35 years. I was a program
Wow.
coordinator for a battered women's shelter. I worked in a jail with pregnant moms. I really loved it. And mental health, homelessness. I've been around the block a time or two. And most
Wow.
of the time, it's been with all of the time, it's been with women because women are the foundation of the home. And if she's unhappy and she's not living her true self, the whole family suffers, and especially the children. I happen to
Definitely.
be a child that grew up in that kind of situation. So I am a
All right.
survivor as a child and unconsciously as an adult. Because we always say, I'm not going to never let that happen to me. Yeah, right. I mean, we think that, but
Definitely.
it's
Definitely.
familiar. It's familiar. So I have a master's in holistic health education. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology. I'm a paralegal. I've been trained in trauma. All of that helps me to do the work. And then I do the work on myself because I'm authentic. I can't ask you to do something that I haven't done because that's not being my true self.
Definitely.
And that's
Definitely.
what I do. So now I am the CEO and founder of You Win Working with Me. And it didn't start off like that. It started off as use what's inside now. Because again, I always feel like we have what we need. We're just
Yeah.
not really conscious that we have it.
Mm.
And women are, to me, if we don't love ourselves, we're lost. We are lost.
Definitely, definitely. Trust me, I didn't love myself for years. And the day I decided I don't want to die being like this. I mean, I was very good at acting, like I was happy and all that. But inside, I was suffering alone. And the day I decided I do not want to carry this load anymore, and I laid it down, it's amazing how much you miss
Yes.
by
Yes.
just not being happy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing as well how much it spirals into everybody around you. If you have children, your children get consumed in it. If you have a husband, a boyfriend, even friends, they all get consumed because whatever you're giving out is coming from that unhappy source.
Yes.
And
Yes.
though you don't realize it, you
Mm-hmm.
just spread it. And if I hadn't been in a tricky situation that made me open my eyes to myself, probably would have still been spewing this hate around me. Amazing. And I was drawn to you
Mm-hmm.
from the point of view that you believe that a woman is the backbone of the whole
She is.
family. I strongly believe that too. And that's one thing that drew me to you, and that's the main reason why I follow you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I
Yeah,
follow you too. We
yeah, I've
follow each
noticed.
other because we're all in this together. And I think
Yes.
sometimes women, unfortunately, we kind of don't not on the same team sometimes.
Mm.
And we're all in this together. We're
We
all
are.
sisters. And until we start supporting each other, it's not going to work for us. And so that's what I mark it. I mark it up. Let's support each other like we're doing with each other right now,
Yeah,
you know, and that's the beginning,
yeah, yeah.
you
Just
know.
the two of us doing this video is going to touch so many more people. And when people are touched, they spread what they're receiving. And like you're saying, we're all in this together. And yeah, so here we are.
Yeah.
I'm really
Mhm.
not going to start by asking you questions.
Okay.
You're wise. You know what
Mhm.
we're looking for. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm, I'm receiving that wisdom as well. I may have been catalyst for others, but I'm receiving that wisdom as well. So I'll let you give us tips. At the end, I will ask questions if they come up. And when I share, I'm going to ask people as well to ask questions if they come up. And then maybe we will create another um, opportunity for you to answer the questions, and things can, start happening for us women. I really am excited that this year, Valentine's Day, I'm considering love.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm a romantic no matter what. So, you kind of have to keep that in your mind
Yeah,
regardless of what you go through.
yeah.
But I'm going to start off by talking about what we can do
Hmm.
to let go and open up and love again.
If
Okay.
I look down, I'm taking notes.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look down and up myself, so don't worry about it. The
Okay.
first thing that we have to do is to let go of the pain.
Yeah.
You can't let go of the pain by resisting it. You can avoid the pain sometime, but in
Hmm.
order to move on, you have to fully embrace the pain. And that's the first step.
That's a scary place to be.
Write down your feelings and come to terms with the emotions you're going through. That's the
Yeah.
first step.
Okay.
The second step is let go of the trespass. When you break up, you feel like you want to blame everyone for causing your
Hmm.
heart. This includes not just the ex, his family, his friends, and it doesn't apply to everybody, it just applies to a majority of people. and everyone in between. But the only way you can stop is to forgive them, is totally forgive them,
Wow.
and that
Wow.
takes a little effort to forgive them.
I'm
But
just thinking, as you're speaking, I'm just thinking
go ahead, dear.
personally, you saying blaming everyone. I went through that, I would be thinking, why did this person not notice I was going through this? Why, or this person, I think they noticed, but why didn't they do something about it? And, instead of focusing on myself, what I can do for myself, what I didn't do for myself, I blamed the whole world. And as far as I was concerned, I didn't contribute anything to it.
I think we all feel like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you saying what you're saying is just making me realize that, yeah, maybe that's why it took so long for me to deal with it, because I felt I didn't do anything. I didn't contribute anything.
And then we have to remember that we have imperfections too. Sometimes we get so focused on somebody else's imperfections, we forget that we have our own too, you know.
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
it takes a lot of open-mindedness to accept that too. Okay. The
Yeah.
third thing is let go of the bitterness. The way that you let go of the bitterness is to think of the many positive qualities and experience you had with that person. You know what's really odd is that sometimes all you think about is the bad stuff. But if you look deep, I'm talking about real deep now, because the relationship that I was in, it was really traumatic for me. But I thought about it and I said to myself, well, he taught me how to travel. He taught me how to do it comfortably. I got to go a lot of different places with him. See, you have to draw those things out because it's a funny thing about the bad stuff always overpowers the little good. It doesn't matter if it's small or anything, but try to glean something out of that wasn't totally negative. And that takes a little work. It really does, but it
I'm
can
just
happen.
thinking that now. Oh my days. Okay. That is interesting.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Remind yourself of the redeeming qualities. See the light in it. Even though it's dim, find it. Okay. Number 4, let go of resentments. We let go of self-pity and resentments by being more grateful.
Wow.
And the way that we be more grateful, like every time I get $1 in, I find a dime, I find a penny, I say, thank you, God. Thank you for this. Thank you for the fact I got a roof over my head. Thank you for the fact that I have food to eat, that I have people that love me. See, we can get so sucked up in the negative that we forget that we're really blessed.
Yeah.
And when you ride along or something, you say to yourself, oh, thank God I got me a car. Thank God I got me some gas. Those are little bitty things that we overlook.
That add up.
We do. And it's so much easier to focus on the negative anyway. Okay. So the next thing is you want to make a gratitude list. If you can't come up with it off the top of your head, it's easier for me to come up with it right now because I've been doing it as a practice. It's really part of your healing. Okay. And start letting the resentment start going in the background. And I said light and easy, but it's not easy. Okay. Number 5, let go of comparing yourselves to others, because I tended to do that a lot. Oh, they got such a perfect relationship. I got such a sorry one. Why me? Poor victim. You see what I'm saying? But you really don't know what's going on in that relationship. You just assume based upon what you see. And sometimes the person is a really good person. But you also know that she fostered that in him or her, or I'm saying him, but I mean just in
The other,
general.
yeah.
Relationships are pretty much, they cross all boundaries. They're pretty much the same. Doesn't matter. Okay. And the next step is let go of your expectation. We want up to expect a lot of things to turn out a certain way. Like we live happily ever after. You know, we go into the sunset, we ride into the sunset with our knight in shining armor. Okay, those are the things that we hope to happen. The way to be happy in and out of a relationship is to let go of expectations and conditions.
Right.
Okay, your Mr. or Mrs. Right isn't a certain height, not a certain weight, doesn't have a certain profession. You know, I had that pretty bad. So I don't know. Would you like to comment about that? That was one of the things. They got to be like this or they got to be like
Yeah.
that.
I used to have a list. He's gonna be tall, he's gonna be athletic, he's gonna have a six pack, and he's gonna be like the envy of the neighborhood.
I hear what you said. It's kind of funny when you look at it right now, you know.
Ridiculous.
It is. It is. But
And
at the
one thing you
time,
don't even think about is, do I match up to that? What I'm expecting? Am I able to be like that as well? Because if I'm expecting, he's also expecting. So
yeah.
if he's gonna be first class, am I first class?
Right. That's
We
a
don't
good
think
point.
about that.
Nah, we don't think about that because we darn near perfect. Okay.
Wow.
The next thing, let go of your resistance. And a lot of times I tell myself and other people, get out of your own way. Because sometimes you get in your own way.
I
Although love
struggle
can
with
be,
that.
yes,
I
yes,
struggle with resistance is my greatest weakness.
it is. It really is. And I have that same challenge too. Be
Mm-hmm.
open to meeting new people, be open to being vulnerable,
Mm.
and be open to falling in love again. And that's the struggle. That's why you have to go through these steps in order to get there.
Yeah, true.
Love can only bloom if you're open in love in your life.
Mm.
Set the intention for love to enter in again.
Wow. Be
Yeah.
intentional. Don't just say, oh, I want to go back into it, and then you hold on to things. I think that's the challenge with me. Like, I still find myself being set in my own ways. But I think maybe I've taken a step further because now I'm considering actually doing something about it,
Right, right. Making the first step.
which is
And then,
why I thought of you. And it looks like I was spot on.
oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you know, as I say, it's really a lifetime job. I mean,
Yeah,
it's, you know, we just get better. I'm
yeah.
not sure that we've reached the epitome of everything, but we just get better. And the more we love ourselves, the better
Mhm.
we get, you know.
Yeah,
And
true,
stop looking for it in someone else because that
true.
that that happens a lot. Okay. And the next one is to let go of being tough because you'll find a lot of women, you know, I'm not going to take that. You know, and it's really overdone. And I found when I was working in a battered woman shelter, um, they came in weak and humble. At the
Mm.
end of that third week, they was too tough. They
Mm.
was too rough, you
You
know,
can't touch me.
and then they started um attacking another woman, started looking at her flaws because they turned into the abuser and they didn't even know it.
That,
So
that
I would always
that's
constantly have to bring it to their attention. You're acting just like the way you've been treated. See, you got to spend more time getting to know who you are.
mm, mm,
You know, even with your kids, you know, saying, uh, being too hard on them, not showing love. And we
mm.
pick up those patterns from our background. You know, like I come from a critical family. So I really had to take a look at being critical. And I found that out when I worked in a battered women's shelter. Be open to learn,
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
open to change, be open to be a better person.
Wow.
Yes, that's the only way.
Wow.
And be true to yourself. You'll
Mm.
also attract people who are better suited for you when you're true to yourself.
Mm.
Seek to be your most honest self. You can fool all the people you want to fool, but you really can't fool yourself.
You can fool yourself.
You
Yeah.
can't fool
True.
yourself.
True.
You can't fool yourself. So
True.
let go of being a tough lady, you know. And I was in this class recently and they were talking about how we use the masculine and the feminine.
Mm.
I use the feminine a lot with women, you know, because I know that women need that support. But in the business world, I use a lot of the masculine.
All right.
Yeah. So get in touch with what part of you uses the masculine, what part of you uses the feminine. The feminine is more comfortable because it's more natural. The
Mm.
masculine is like, I'm ready, let's
Yeah.
go for
Yeah.
it. And we need that too. We need that too. But we don't need it as much as what we use it for.
I
Okay.
think sometimes when it works, when you use the masculine side of you and it works, you become overzealous with it. You sort of, you just want to get away with it all the time. It's like kind of like a defense mechanism, isn't it? I think
It
I
is a
was like
defense
that.
mechanism. It is, but in reality, it's not needed all the time. It's
Yeah,
really not
yeah.
needed all the time. Um, so I'm taking a look at that within myself too.
Mm.
And the last point I'm going to make on that this particular internal work that needs to be done on you, because everything starts from you.
Yeah,
And if you
true,
work on you, you see the world in another way
true, true.
and you stop being a victim. Okay. And the last part on this particular thing is let go of the fear. The way to let go of fear is to recognize and embrace it. How is fear holding you back? Is
Mm.
it keeping you stuck from living the life you want or the love you desire? Take a look at that. Call fear out for what it is. I'm fearful. Just saying, I am scared, you know.
Never been told to do that before. I've been
Say it again,
told
dear.
if you're scared or fearful, then say the opposite. I'm not afraid.
Mhm. Well, you can, but first you can't acknowledge what you don't heal, what you can't heal, what you don't acknowledge. Because in a way, you
True.
kind of
Yeah.
skip over it
True.
and say, I'm not. But in reality, you still are. So you got this controversy going on internally that's saying, I'm not scared, but I am scared.
But I'm
I'm not
scared.
scared.
Yeah, yeah.
But when you call it out, you embrace it. You say, I am scared. So what's my next step with it?
Yeah.
When you confront fear and acknowledge it for what it is, you can have an honest conversation with fear. I'm
Mm.
fearful, you know.
Mm.
How are you going to help me through this? What do I have to do in order to get over this fear or make
Right,
peace with this fear?
right.
Ultimately, a partner is a mirror and guide to help you complete the journey to your truest self.
Wow. Wow. I think maybe this is why with me, even though I have done well in most areas of my life, I've still always felt like something is not there. This,
Mhm.
I'm somehow not really complete.
Yes, yes. And that's why it's so important to bring out all the feelings.
Mm.
And if you don't, they're going to come back with a passion. They're going to come back really rough, you know, and uh, and then they're harder to deal with. When I could just say it, go ahead with it, and try to find a way to nurture it or to reduce it. It takes time though, but I am acknowledging it and I am trying to make a change in that area. Let go of your blocks keeping you from experiencing joy. Let go and choose love again. That's your work that we do internally to make that adjustment. Okay. All right.
And I think that's really crucial, because if you are not loving, if you are not loved, I don't think you're really living.
Not really.
I honestly, you can dress yourself up any way you want, but if the inside is not happy, is not clean, is not, it's natural as it's meant to be, then the outside is just like the clothes that you wear, and you can cover the unhappiness in front of other people, but you can't, like you said, you can't lie to yourself.
Right, right. Because I can put on a good face, even when I worked at the shelter, because I didn't even remember I was went through a domestic violence until I started working at the shelter. And then I got sick because I had repressed those feelings for so many years. Because I was wondering, the first week I got there, I got sick. And I said, this is kind of weird. The first week on the job, I have to take off sick leave. And as it
Wow.
progressed, I got sicker and sicker. And when I started putting the key in the door, I would get an instant headache. And my body was telling me, you have something that you have to deal with. But I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't even remember it because I had been away from it for so long. But remember now, all during the process, I was making bad choices in relationships. So it was still there. It didn't go away. I thought it went away, but it was still lingering inside of me, making bad decisions, choosing people that really didn't care about me because
No,
I didn't care.
you're saying that, and it's explaining a lot of things about me. My goodness me, it's almost like you are walking my line, you are walking my pathway. Like, I had to be in that dangerous spot to then think, why, and the signs manifested as physical illnesses.
Yes,
And
they
yet I
do.
couldn't
They do.
explain it.
Uh-huh.
I went to my GP and I said to him, I can't go to work tomorrow. I'm not well, but I can't tell you what's wrong with me. I feel like it's something inside and I need help. I need you to help me to figure it out.
Right, right.
I don't know what it is. I'd have headaches, I'd be sweating, and I just wasn't well. I couldn't put a finger on it. And they do all these blood tests and all this, and everything comes clear. And I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, that's how it manifests. That's why I was so interested in holistic health education because it's the mind, body, spirit connection. And if the mind is sick, the body will get sick.
Mm,
It's just natural. It will
wow.
become sick too.
Yeah. Wow.
So one day I was at the shelter and I got into a discussion with one of the residents that she had stolen something, and I knew she stole it because, and I don't know what happened. I just started after she left, and I went into the office. I just started crying and I couldn't stop. And so I went to the doctor. Drove myself straight to the doctor in emergency, and he told me I was suffering from job stress. That was part of it, but I was reliving my childhood all over again and didn't even know it.
Wow.
Didn't even know it. And the blessing came from me getting sick. If I hadn't got sick, and I thank God to this day that I got sick. And that sounds
Mm,
really weird, but sometimes that's the only way we listen.
yeah.
And even some people don't even listen when they
Mm-hmm,
get sick. And
mm-hmm,
you're thinking to yourself, I know what it is. Your mind is sick.
yeah.
It's sick. And your body says, I'm here. Don't forget about me. Don't leave me. and you've
Hmm.
already left it.
You've already, you've already left. Yeah, I had to crash, like literally crash in a car to stop. I kept thinking, oh, let me just cover this first. I knew there was something I needed sorted, but I kept thinking, let me cover this first. Let me cover that first. And I was blocking that reality that I need. There was some work that was needed in me. And I thought by keeping busy, it would go away. But it just, like you said, it will come on full force. Each time
Yes, it
it was
will.
worse than the last time.
Yes, it
And
will. It'll
until I
say,
was,
I'm here.
hmm, and I was thinking,
Acknowledge
no,
it.
you can't break me, you can't break me. Literally
Mhm.
telling myself nothing can break me. I'm stronger than anything. And when I look at it now, it's almost like I was like, I'm God.
That's true. I think we feel like that. And then we're taught, be strong.
Hmm.
It's not much excitement about being strong. I mean, be honest. Be
Real.
honest with yourself.
Hmm.
I'm hurting. I feel it.
Hmm.
It's just I'm strong. And most of the time people say, oh, she's so strong. But you know what? Follow her home.
Yeah.
Because when you go home with her, you will see a whole different person.
Spend the whole day acting much, and then come night time when you close that door, you're like, oh, like
Just
you just
exhausted.
wasted.
Mhm. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to complete this session with just a little saying.
Hmm.
Find yourself first, appreciate your own worth, and next time you're in a relationship, never get lost again.
I'm gonna write that down. Find yourself.
Yourself first, appreciate your own worth,
Appreciate your own work.
and next time you're in a relationship, never get lost again.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful because that's what happens. We get lost. We get lost. We lose ourselves.
Yeah.
And
Wow,
I
that
just,
is powerful.
it is. It really is.
That
And that's accepting responsibility. I got lost. Nobody made me get lost. Nobody
I
did all.
actually, yeah,
I got
I got
lost
lost.
myself. Okay. Yeah. And what was I going to say? I was going to bring up another point too. Like I'll probably come back to it later, but um, yeah. So yeah, just being honest. That would be the best thing to do. And it's and at least you're dealing with it. You're not sweeping it under the carpet because what happens is the carpet gets so full, it starts spilling out in other parts of your life. Like
You
on the
keep looking
weekend.
and you keep looking at it. As soon as somebody enters, you're like looking at it, hoping nobody will see it. This is the thing when you're hiding, you're like, I was like that. One word, somebody says one word, and I think, oh my God, they found my stash.
And for me, on the weekends, I was totally exhausted after I worked there. I
Hmm.
didn't have any fun on the weekends. None. Because it's only 2 days. Really, it's
Yeah.
just one. It's
Hmm.
just Saturday. Because Sunday you're getting ready for Monday.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
really count that. But I was exhausted. And then I was talking negative all the time. It really consumes you. What's
Hmm.
so happy? Nothing, you're not happy about nothing. You're always fussing about something. I
Hmm.
mean, you don't want to be like that.
No,
Nobody
no,
wants to
nobody,
be.
nobody
Mm-mm.
does.
No.
You wonder to yourself, how did I get here?
Well, unresolved issues can make you very negative. They really
Mm,
can, you
true,
know.
true.
So, what we're going to talk about now is 5 first steps to take when starting to date again.
Okay.
Number one, start slowly. Don't be moving nobody in after the first 2 weeks. I see that so often. I can't be by myself. I got to go get me somebody. What is the rush? You don't
Yeah,
even know what you contributed to the relationship. You don't
true,
know.
true,
You don't
true.
even know what you're looking for.
Mm, mm.
My girlfriend, who, by the way, was murdered by her abuser, she met this guy over the weekend. And I said, okay, cool. She'll have something to do. She can hang out. They'll have a good time. The next week, he had moved in with his stereo, his clothes, and everything.
Wow.
Within the next 2 weeks, he had moved in. And I'm like, wow, I didn't think it was that kind of relationship. I
Of
thought she was just
course.
going to have a little fun, you
Yeah.
know? But he moved in. He immediately started working on her because he already knew her self-esteem was low. So he
Yeah.
started uh, taking control of her money, taking control of her apartment, and eventually he killed her, you know. And, I'm just going to backtrack a little bit because while I was going through my process, I went to therapy. I took off of work because I'm the most important person in my life. You
Right.
have to look at yourself like that. You have to. And during the process, I want to tell you, it's not going to get easier because my girlfriend was murdered. My brother was murdered. I had a lot of other distractions that could have taken me off my journey.
Hmm.
So when you're doing the right thing, don't think the road's going to be easy because it's not. But if you're forthright and and you continue to be diligent, you can do it. You can do it. But it's not going to be an easy road. I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, I've often said to people like Christians when they pray, they're praying for a breakthrough. I
No.
I used to do it as well. And we have this picture that my breakthrough is going to mean all the bad is gone, all the negative is gone, all the bad people are gone, everything is just hanky-dory, and that's not possible. I only realized recently that it's about being able to focus on the positives that are coming your way and let them build up something rather than expecting it to get to you fully fledged, just like somebody saying, there it is, enjoy.
I wish.
It's what I was looking for. But
And
you've
I
got
hear
to
people
work at
say
it.
that.
Mm,
Mhm.
mm,
And women say, a lot of people say that I'm just going to pray on it.
yeah.
Okay, pray, but action. You can do them both, you
Mm,
know.
mm,
And then
mm.
they're sitting around praying, which is nothing wrong with it. And I'm not saying that, but you're not doing any action.
Exactly, exactly.
God gave us wisdom. That's the wisdom that you use to change your life, to make
Mm,
changes in your life. You just
mm,
can't sit around and expect for something to just fall in your lap. It's not going to happen. You got
true,
to do the work. You got to
true,
do the work, you know. So
true.
the first one, starts slowly. Number two is try online dating. And you got to be careful of that online dating because there's so many fake people out there, but that'll get your feet wet. And I want to just tell you, I have two friends that did online dating and they're married and they're very happy. So that is an incentive for me to try it, no matter if I have negative experiences from it or not. See, you're gonna have negative because going to the top is a battle. I
Mm,
mean, you
mm.
can keep driving. You just can't say, "Oh, I had such a bad time. Oh, I'm not gonna do that ever again." I
I'm just
mean,
gonna,
take a break,
yeah,
get back
yeah.
on the road again. You can
Mm.
take a detour, but you got to get back on that same road again.
It's about
Number
never
three,
giving up, isn't it?
yes, it's never ending. It's never good. But the light at the end of that tunnel is sure gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it. That's what keeps
I'm
me
looking
going.
forward to that one.
Now, me too. Me too. That's why I keep striving.
Yeah.
And number three, don't tell them everything on the first day. I was in an abusive situation. He did me like this. He did me like that. I mean, you don't even know that person.
Yeah.
And believe you me, whatever you tell them, you gonna hear it again. Well,
Equipping them. If they're abusive, you're basically equipping them.
right, right. And then why do we always gotta tell everything? Because a lot of people like doing their own dating. Well, tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself.
Mm,
And then when you tell them about yourself, They say everything you want them to say.
They know.
Do you
Yeah,
like?
because you've just told them.
You
They
just
know.
told them everything you like.
Mm.
Oh, I love family. I'm into family because family is so important to me. This is so important to me, and then you're giving them the ammunition to use when they get ready to, unfortunately, plan their attack. And I'm saying it lightly, but
It boils
those kind of
down to that.
people, yeah,
And
that's
you
how
make them look perfect because once you've equipped them, they're going to be acting according to expectations. And then you think, oh my God, he is so different from the last one. He is perfect. He's not. He's
he's
just
just
given it all.
he's just mirroring what you've already told him that you like.
Mm.
And you know what? They don't gotta come over your house all the time. Why are
No.
you entertaining in your house? You don't even know them.
Mm.
This is what I'm saying. We give people the ammunition to use against us. Okay. And this is just food for thought for people to just think about,
Yeah,
for women
true,
to think
true,
about.
true.
So shut your mouth and don't, and when they ask you all those questions, you turn it back on them. Well, what about you? And then
Mm.
most of the time, I was in a relationship and she dogged me out. You don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah,
You don't know
yeah,
if it's true or not,
yeah, yeah.
you know?
Get to know the
And
person. Don't be in a rush. Get to know them.
don't be
Because
in
the
a,
mouth can say things, but reality always shows up if you give it time.
of course it does. That's an excellent point.
Mm.
Number 4, don't expect them to fix you. You can't even fix yourself. So how you expect somebody to fix you? You haven't even fixed yourself. Okay. Don't be doing that. I mean, you come in whole and
Mm.
complete. That's why you have to spend the time to do the work. Because when you come in whole and complete,
Mm.
and you don't have to be mean, you don't have to be aggressive, you
Yeah,
just be assertive,
yeah,
assertive. And I tell you what, we already know in the beginning if that person is truthful or not, because we get these intuitions. But
yeah,
what do?
yeah.
We look
You
over them.
ignore it for
Yeah. Oh,
some
that's
reason. For
we
some
minimize
reason, we
it.
always ignore. You get these telltale signs, and you look at the side. I don't get it.
Okay. True. True. Okay. And number 5, look for the red flags early on. Okay. Listen to
Mm.
your gut.
Yeah.
When your past relationships started getting toxic,
Mm.
would it have escalated so far into abuse?
Mm.
No,
Yeah, it
it
wouldn't.
would not if
It
you paid
wouldn't.
attention to the red flags. Number 1, the biggest red flag for me is you don't respect my boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, say, for instance, I go to bed, I don't take calls or after 9 o'clock.
Mm.
You want to call me at 9:30. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? And I had an experience like that. That's why I'm really stuck on that, because I kept
Mm.
saying, oh, 9:30. Oh, okay, that's the only time he can come. But what did I tell
What did
you?
I say? Yeah.
So that's already telling me that you don't respect my boundaries.
Mm. Mm.
And then he'd come knocking on the door at 11 and I would let him in. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
was responsible for that? I was. Listen to your gut, learn from your mistakes, and pay close attention to the red flags. And what I'm saying
Mm.
is wake up,
Yeah.
wake up, be present. Because a lot of times when these things are going on, we're not really present, not at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. In excited blend, you're not paying attention.
Yeah, he's so nice. He's so kind. He
Mm.
takes me to dinner. You could take your own self to
You can
dinner.
go to yeah. You can go to dinner yourself.
I know. Well, isn't he supposed to do that?
Yeah. Exactly.
And anyway, a lot of the things that I talk about is the love bombing and the manipulative tactics that are used in order
Mm.
to get you into the lure
Yeah.
of the relationships. Okay. So I don't know how much more time we have, but I have a couple more things if you want, I can bring up.
Yeah, I think we still have a few more minutes,
Okay.
probably about 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna conclude very quickly. Imagining and envisioning the love you want. What kind of love do you really want?
Yeah.
Remind yourself of the painful and hurtful love and know that you're looking for the opposite of that.
All right. All
Okay.
right. That's interesting.
Okay. Living romance with or without a partner, which means taking yourself to dinner, having a glass of wine by yourself, lighting some candles, taking a good bath. Bring romance into your life. And it doesn't have to be with a partner.
Yeah. Yeah,
It can be
definitely.
with yourself. It can be with yourself.
Yeah.
Watch your thoughts and words. You can't expect romance if you're stuck in a pattern or mindset of judgment and resentment. You must be, you must affirm romance, embrace it in your mind, and cultivate it in your words. Speak gently, kindly, and lovingly. Those are
Wow.
some good things to do.
Wow.
Okay. I trust more in what I feel and I listen. I really listen. And I refuse to give up my romantic nature, my art, my poetry, my spirituality, my way of life,
Yeah.
because I will dwell in passion and light and love. I don't get stuck in the past, but I will never forget it either. Okay? Because you can move on and you can be the kind, loving person that you were really meant to be. Don't let this harden you because it can. It really
Yeah,
can.
definitely it can. It
And
can
it'll
turn you
spoil the
into
rest of your life.
stone.
Yeah, and it'll spoil the rest of your life. One of the things I do too, I think her name is India Ree, and she says, I am a queen. She talks
India.
about, I may not have a shape like a movie star, and I might not have all this going on, but I'm still a queen. And that's what I do. I listen to empowering music, and then I dance around and I say, that's me, you know. And what you're doing, you're creating on an area of love and empowerment. Do whatever it takes to make you love yourself, to appreciate yourself, to value yourself, to show that to the world, because that's the real you. If you work at it, if you work at it. So that's basically what I kind of wanted to share with the ladies today, and to tell them that don't give up on love, but work on yourself first.
I am so, so, so glad that I did invite you for myself, because while you were talking, I've actually picked a few things that I didn't realize, that I didn't know, that probably were happening subconsciously because I wasn't paying attention. And by the time you finish, the thought that I have is that it's one thing to decide I want to love again, but it's only the beginning of actually being in love again, because there are those steps that you need to take. I probably was just looking at it very generally that, yeah, I say I'm ready to love again, and then love is just gonna find me.
I think we kind of think like that. I thought like that too.
Yeah, but I'm realizing that, yeah, you actually, if you want something, you have to work at it. It doesn't just drop on your lap.
It
And
doesn't.
one thing I've taken as well is that being judgmental, being negative, it's exhibiting negative energy
Yes, dear.
will repel the love, because love and negativity
They
they're
don't go
not
together.
the same.
Mm-mm.
They don't mix.
They don't. They don't. And if you got the internal saying one thing and the external saying another, they have to be in alignment with one another. And one of the things I'm going to say is that sometimes there's a bowl burning ceremony that you could do. That I was in a group and I wrote down all the things that I didn't want in my life. And then I had another sheet of paper that says all the things that I did want in my life. And I burned them in a bowl and I prayed over the bowl. And it let go of a lot of things, just doing that ritual. Because if you can, develop a ritual for yourself. You know, before you get back out there, let go of the old by burning it, and then bring in the new by burning that as well. It's called a bowl burning ceremony.
Bowl burning
Ceremony, yes. Mm-hmm.
Definitely doing that.
Pardon?
I'm definitely doing that.
Good, good, good. I do it on a lot of levels. Every time I think of something, I'm
Definitely.
yes.
Definitely.
All
Because
right.
I think to a certain extent, I haven't completely allowed myself to think about what I really want, because love is quite broad.
It is.
And I haven't fully looked at that list of the things that I don't want. I think maybe because I'm afraid of the fact that they might make me feel negative. But then I liked where you said, then burn it, so I can actually get rid of it. I like the sound of that, and I'm definitely gonna do it.
It really is effective, and that's why, you know, even if you're in for those that are in a bad relationship right now, it's not the end of your life. It truly is not. You know, you can be doing something positive. There's a lot of classes online. You can join the support group that you have, the ICU support group. Don't just sit around idle and feel sorry for yourself. Get back in the game and start with yourself. That's my advice for today. And for me too. For me too.
This is the interesting thing as well. When you give, you're actually receiving from yourself as well. Sometimes you have such value in yourself, but if you don't make use of it, it lies idle, you completely forget about it. But when you bring it out and you're giving it, you can feel it, you can taste it, you can embrace it. And so that is what makes giving worth a whole lot more than we realize.
It does. It feels great. It really
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
thank you
thank
so
you
much.
so much for inviting me. I feel very honored to be here to connect with your women and to let them know that they're going to make it. They'll be fine.
On their behalf, I thank you. I'm quite sure they are going to be looking at you and thinking, wow, I've been given the first few tools to get started. I'm part of a group, a support group, purpose-driven women, and we were talking about this. You know, like some of the women are married in there, and they were talking about, we are okay with you being single, but it would be better if you had love like we do, but we don't know how to help you. And so the idea has been germinating and growing the past few months in my head, and observing you, I just had this feeling that there was nuggets of wisdom from you, and you've just poured them out. I'm humbled.
Thank you. Thank you.
I am humbled. I'm definitely going to share with the ladies, and I definitely see a second. Maybe we could do a live where these women can actually ask you questions and actually comment on what you're saying, because I'm seeing those breakthroughs that I was talking about earlier, that you get breakthrough, and you were quite realistic about it by saying it's not gonna be easy, it's not gonna be, it doesn't mean it's not, you're not going to face difficulties, but that whole process is worth it because of that light at the end of the tunnel.
It is. It truly is.
That is
Well, thank
amazing.
you.
That is
Thank you.
amazing. Thanks, Janice.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. And good luck to everybody. And I'll be praying for everybody.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right.
Anyway, have a lovely day. We're going into evening. You're starting your day.
Yes, I am. I am.
Enjoy your day and don't be a stranger. Let's keep supporting each other. Like said, we are in it together. Thank you.
Yes, Ashe. And invite me back anytime. I'll be very happy to come. Okay?
Humbled.
All
Bye.
right. Have a great day.
You
God
too.
bless.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.